Hi and welcome to 3KQ's tutorial on how to use GatherTown as a participant. So you will be watching this because you've received an invitation to a meeting or an event in GatherTown, and when you click on the link, it'll just take a couple of seconds to load up the page, and it will give you completely at random an avatar. Okay, so as I go through these instructions, feel free to press pause so that you can follow it, or obviously just watch it back. So this avatar will pop up. It's a different avatar for every person. If you want to customize it, you can do all sorts of stuff. Just play with these settings: skin color, clothing, accessories. It goes on forever. Alternatively, just live with what you've got and click next step. Okay, it really doesn't matter what you look like. Please do enter your name though, so name your character. Please use your real name, just your first name. I'm just going to call this one Bill. Those of you that know me know my name isn't Bill, but Bill for this character. Use your first name, and if it's an external event, please put your organization name as well. If it's an internal event, don't worry about that, just use your first name. That's plenty, okay? And then you can click finish. If you want to go back and change anything, you can just click this blue edit button, okay? You can change that stuff at any time. So you'll see in the top left, GatherTown software wants permission to use both the microphone and the camera, and you do obviously need to allow it to do that, just like Zoom or MS Teams. The whole thing doesn't work if you don't allow it. So I'll turn that on. I will appear here so that you can see me just for a second. Hi there. I am though just going to turn the video off temporarily so that it doesn't distract from this tutorial, and I'm also going to just mute myself temporarily on the software video because I've got a couple of avatars in the meeting to demonstrate things and two devices running them. I don't want to get feedback. So anyway, we're all ready to join the gathering, so you just hit this green button down at the bottom, and it will automatically take you to the standard GatherTown tutorial, which obviously you're very welcome to go through. There's no harm in that at all, but equally you can just skip it. I think we're covering all the main things that you need to know in this 3KQ tutorial. So for now I'm going to click skip, and it's taking us to the event, and again it just takes 2 or 3 seconds to load. And then you will appear in your meeting space. Okay, so you can create a bit more space here. You've got the participants list on the left, just like in Teams and Zoom, and you click the participants button down here to get rid of that, but also you can toggle the list on and off. Okay, so we are there. Bill has appeared here. That's where you arrive, just coming through the door, and so you don't use the mouse to move around, but you do use the arrow keys. So just press them. You can just move around the room just like you would in a normal conference center or community center. And you'll notice that there's a particular layout. In this room, there's a particular layout that the facilitators set up for the particular meeting that they're going to run. And the idea of the software really is to allow participants to move themselves where they want and when they want. So a little bit like in a real room, people can't make you go places. They can ask you, but they can't physically move you. They can't throw you into a breakout room like they can in Teams and Zoom. So it's a much more empowering bit of software in terms of you as a participant. So I'll just show you how it works though. So Bill, if you just move around the board, you will find there are some private spaces. See down here, you've entered a private space. So there's no one else in there with me at the moment. I'll just go and get the other character, Rory, because when you're in a private space, you can only see and be seen by other people in that private space. It's effectively like walking into a completely separate room. Now I'm just going to get this other character, and when I do that, it's just going to prompt me that I'm tabbing away from this screen, and it's going to mute me. So there we go. You were also muted while you're away. So it's worth just bearing in mind here that if you tab away to access something else on your computer, depending exactly where it is and what screens and software you've got and so on, it can mute you on Gather Town. It's a kind of safeguard so that you don't end up working on something else, completely forgetting you're in Gather Town, and then saying something that you shouldn't, or sharing something that you shouldn't, and that kind of thing. It may well be, though, it's useful actually to change the setting. So you will have seen I click the change setting button, then audio and video, scroll down, and you turn off this auto idle muting. Okay, you turn that one off. I can show you later on how to do that again, or you can watch it back. So let's just go and get the other character then. So you see Rory is running across onto the green mat, and suddenly Rory's video appears here. Okay, obviously in a real meeting you'd see me instead of this red avatar, and I wouldn't be muted. So Bill down here and Rory would be able to have a conversation, and if you want to see each other bigger, you can click this button here. You get bigger pictures of each other, just like on Teams and Zoom. And I mean, that's in a nutshell, that's actually it. Basically, the software just gives you the ability to move around these spaces really quickly. So if Bill wants to go and do some work with the red group, just goes and jumps on one of these chairs. And then if Rory wants to go and join that group, red group, just walks over here, gets close, and as soon as you're close enough, Rory and Bill are connected. Okay, that is the idea of it. In all the 3KQ events that we run, there will always be a kind of social area, because one of the powers of this software is that if you spot, during a coffee break, if you spot somebody that you want to go and talk to, just like in a conference centre, you just go over and talk to them. But of course in Teams and Zoom at the moment you can't do that, but on this software you can. So if Bill thinks, actually I'd really like to speak to Rory, I want to go and ask him something, you just walk close and you can see Rory's just appeared. So you can talk, you can see each other, and converse just like you would in a conference center. And as soon as you move away, you reach a point where you're disconnected. Okay, and you can see if you watch again, you actually fade away here. So you started to fade, the audio fades and then gets cut off, and then you're actually gone. Okay, so there's a fairly long distance, which means that you can have 6 or 7 of you standing in a circle, all connected. You don't have to be right on each other's toes. Okay. So the only other thing I wanted to show you was the settings button down here, was the idle mute thing that we touched on earlier. So the audio and video button, and it's scroll down here, auto idle muting. So what I would advise is testing this when you get on, just to work out if you're using, for example, if you're using Slido on a different tab, or Menti, or another piece of software like an online whiteboard like Concept Board or Mural, then you just want to test whether you get muted automatically. Some of you will, some of you might not, and then you can just toggle this one to be the opposite. Okay. So play with that one, and beyond that I think that's everything. So what I'll do is leave you with it and say test it, trial it, and good luck with it.